It is the newest member of the European Union and it just took a major step to join the Schengen zone as well. At a time when the rest of the Western Balkans seems to be lagging behind, Croatia is considered the big success story of the region. I am joined by Prime Minister Andrej Plenkovic to talk about Croatia's achievements, the next challenges and the challenges of the wider region. Andrej Plenkovic, thank you for this interview on Global Conversation.
Thank you very much.
So you recently got the green light from the European Commission for the Schengen zone. The decision came as a surprise to many because lately Europe seems to be closing in rather than opening up. Are you afraid that you might not see the end of this road?
Well, first of all, the decision of the College of the European Commission, of Jean-Claude Juncker Commission in Strasbourg last week, is actually a fruit of a 4 years hard work by Croatia, by fulfilling the criteria which are structured in 8 different chapters of the so-called Schengen acquis. And in every of these chapters, we have managed to elevate the readiness of Croatia to be part of Schengen. So this was a very thorough technical evaluation by the Commission services.
My question has a specific component. This is the open dispute with Slovenia over the Gulf of Piran. The Slovenian side has warned that it might even veto your way to the Schengen zone if there is no solution. Do you see any solution in the near future?
First of all, the border dispute between Croatia and Slovenia is an open issue that we have on the agenda for the last 30 years. Had this been a condition for any of the two countries to join the EU or to join the Schengen, then Slovenia would not have entered either in either of the two inner circles. Our firm belief is that Schengen membership for Croatia should be completely separated from a bilateral border issue between the two countries. For us, it's a Savudrija Bay. For them, it's a Piran Bay. At the end of the day, we can find a solution. No, I'm confident that we can find a solution. What we are saying to our Slovenian neighbors, we have an open issue. There are ways to solve it, peaceful ways, good neighborly relations, and a solution that can be acceptable for both sides, unrelated with our Schengen ambitions.
In Croatia, you have a long coastline. Here in Greece, we know how difficult it is to stop boats with immigrants in the sea. Plus, you have 1,300 kilometers of borders with non-EU countries. Have you considered any special measures to protect your borders?
Not only considered, but we have put them in place. Croatia has very much invested in the capabilities of our police force. We have 6,500 police officers fully trained and equipped to guard the external EU border, that is the Schengen border. We have not opted neither for walls or barricades or barbed wires, unlike some other countries, because we felt, first of all, that the relationship that we have with Bosnia and Herzegovina in particular was not the adequate way to guard the border. So what we are cooperating between the police services of Croatia, of Bosnia and Herzegovina, of Croatia and Serbia, Croatia and Montenegro.
Some NGOs say that you might try too hard. There have been accusations of for police violence against immigrants. Have you investigated these allegations? Is there any truth in them?
Absolutely. We have always respected the Croatian law. We have respected the highest standards, but we are also protecting our border. Any allegation that we have heard, it has been investigated. So far, when it comes to the behavior of policemen, we can only praise their efforts for guarding not only Croatian border, but also guarding the border of all the other EU member states which are behind us.
So mass immigration is obviously a major concern in Europe. Is this the real reason why North Macedonia and Albania did not get dates for accession talks?
We felt that both countries have done a lot in terms of criteria that were required, and that's why the European Commission, again, just like in the Schengen case for Croatia, stated now it's the right time to open these accession negotiations.
So what went wrong?
I think there were many reasons. Some of them were more the analysis of few member states, whether the evaluation, whether everything was ready, was fully accurate or not. And the other one was more general consideration vis-à-vis the enlargement process and also the consideration vis-à-vis the better functioning of the EU as it is today, the EU of 28.
So it was not just France? who
No,
opposed?
there were other countries, unfortunately, very few of them. I would say the
Shouldn't we know which countries?
well, we have an unwritten rule that we do not disclose the deliberations at the European councils, and I will not change this practice. I think that the media have more or less identified which countries had some reservations, but our ambition is to talk to those who were unconvinced and tell them that it is better for the stability of the region, it is better for the European future of our neighborhood that the process starts. So my argument was, let's give them a chance and start, and nobody can today, with a high level of certainty, predict the length of the process.
Do you fear that in the case of Albania and North Macedonia, we might see a repetition of what happened with Turkey in EU? Turkey now seems very far away from the EU, and the case of the incursion in Syria showed that there are other major powers like Russia that influence its politics.
I don't think we can compare Northern Macedonia and Albania with Turkey. Turkey has had a very specific European path. So I think what we need to do as the EU is to organize our relationship with Turkey, especially bearing in mind the potential ramifications of crises that might occur in the Middle East or elsewhere, which could in turn become either a refugee crisis or afterwards a migratory crisis.
Do you think that's possible?
I think it should be.
You will be having the presidency of the EU Council next semester, so Brexit will happen on your watch. Are you hopeful that it will be a smooth transition?
With Brexit, there has been nothing was smooth in the last 3 years and 4 months on this dossier. Now we see further problems on the date of elections and all the other issues. What we discussed in the EU was to give a go-ahead to the UK that we are ready to extend the potential Brexit date until the 31st of January, but with the flexibility, if they solve the procedures internally, we can do the necessary procedure at the level of the Council and the European Parliament, then the Brexit can be even flexible and a little bit before than that. But we as the presidency, we will take care of it once it happens in our time, if it happens. So now we are, with all the things that we have witnessed, I don't want to be a great predictor of something that very few people manage to predict well.
Prime Minister, thank you very much for this interview on Global Conversation.
Thank you very much.